right, good.
All right. So Brian,
Okay,
thank
okay.
you for coming over to San Francisco and taking this time to talk a little bit more about EA's value. Now, one of the things that we often read about is that one of the critical success factors of enterprise architecture is leadership support. But as you know, leaders come and go, and sometimes it's difficult to foretell the kind of tactics you use to win their support. From your wide experience, how have you coped with these changes in leadership styles and leadership approaches?
Well, I can talk about my experiences personally coping with leadership styles and changes within our university, but then also generally what I'm seeing in different organizations within enterprise architecture. So I want to talk generally first. Changes in leadership is a big issue with enterprise architecture. The average tenure in many organizations of a CIO might be 18 months, 2 years at tops. So to keep the momentum that you need for long-term enterprise architecture, you've really got to start thinking about and planning for changes in leadership almost on day one, because they're going to occur. So making sure that you have measurable value that you can point to from your enterprise architecture initiatives, I think is crucial. So implementing a good value measurement program, which is something most organizations either don't have or don't have in very mature programs or very good programs. So if you can demonstrate and communicate the value effectively to all levels of the organization, then hopefully you'll have a broad base of support that will survive any changes in leadership. I think that's your best bet for success.
If somebody was going to ask you, if there was only one metric for EA success, what would be your initial attempt to answer that question?
My answer to that question would be you're asking the wrong question. Okay. Because there is no one metric, I believe. I believe that we try to make value measurement too simplistic in organizations. I can't tell you how many organizations come to me and say, well, give me the metrics I should be using in my organization. And it's not just as easy as I could easily list a dozen metrics. Our approach is, and we've developed a process and a framework for value measurement, is that one size does not fit all here. Every organization is different, your stakeholders are different, your environment's different, your business models are different. So what we really need to do is come in and take a look at what your KPIs are in your organization and how enterprise architecture can affect those KPIs or a subset of those KPIs, and then from there do an in-depth analysis to figure out really what you should be measuring that makes sense for your organization. Too often I see organizations that just measure things either because that's what we've always measured, and they can't tell you really who's using the metrics or how effective those metrics are, or they're measuring internal operations, how well we do things. So they can tell you how many servers they've virtualized, how many applications they've consolidated. And my question is, well, who cares? And not that those things are bad, but I'm not saying who cares facetiously. I'm saying who in your organization cares about this, and you need to be able to express this in terms of value to the business, not in how well we're doing things. Too often I see EA programs that are really good at what they do, but bad at communicating and demonstrating their value, so the perception is that they're not doing much.
In fact, one of the common phrases being used is business and IT strategic alignment. Now, that sounds quite esoteric. If you tell me, if I'm a business person and say, why are you here? And you will say, I'm here to align business and IT strategy.
Yep.
But I need something one level deeper than that.
Bingo. And I would say, and there's some new literature coming out recently in the last few years, that aligning IT with strategy directly is not possible. And I'll tell you why. I actually have a whole half-day session I do in an executive education program with this, kind of debunking the whole IT alignment holy grail that we've been chasing for decades. And just to try to sum it up briefly, if you think about something like strategy, according to Porter and others, less than 5% of people in an organization really understand what the strategy is. And strategies are constantly being tweaked and changed based on market conditions, et cetera. So how can you align to something that maybe only less than 5% of the people really understand, and is in so many organizations constantly in change? I would argue that that's next to impossible. So a more feasible target for alignment, many are saying, and I happen to agree with this, is around business capabilities. So if you can align and show how you support business capabilities, and this gets into the whole value measurement analysis that we're doing. So how are those business capabilities measured? What are their KPIs? show how you can improve and affect those KPIs, that's something tangible that you can align to. And then the hope would be that the owners of the business capabilities then are aligning the capabilities to the needs of the business.